Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lindsey and today we're talking about a brand new Ilia launch that I'm going to be swatching, trying on, and sharing my first impressions with you. Before we start, if you guys aren't already subscribed, I would love to have you, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you do enjoy it. Let's try to get this video to 350 likes, so hit that like button. But let's go ahead and get into these new products. All right, let's start talking about this new Ilia launch. I do have all of my makeup done besides my eyes. Obviously, the lip duo that I have on is the Ritual Day Feel. I just picked this up with a couple more of their products. Wanted to do like a full face of their products for you guys, so keep an eye out. In the shade Prey, which is this really pretty dusty purple. And then I topped it with the Kjaer Weis Tenderness Gloss just to add some more life to it. Also, by the way, my base I'm like blown away by, kind of amazed that I'm enjoying it this much. Also a new launch I'll be reviewing soon. If you guys have any guesses as to what new product I have on my face, let me know in the comments below, and also keep an eye out for that. Just make sure you subscribe so you don't miss these upcoming videos. Well, let's start talking about the new Ilia launch. I'm very excited. I have yet to try these on my eyes. I did swatch them, but they seem very interesting. All right, so here they are. These are the liquid powder chromatic eye tints. It says that they glide like a cream and dry like a powder. When I first saw this, I thought of the Kosas liquid eyeshadows, and Pacifica also has a formula that's similar now, but they're actually not liquidy like that. It's more of a cream eyeshadow, which I think is a lot better of a formula. It's just less messy. These are available in 8 shades. I have 4 of them to swatch for you guys today, and they also retail for how much money? It doesn't say the price on here. I will put it in the description below. But anyway, let's go ahead and open these up. Here are the 4 shades that I have, and the packaging of these I think is really cute. They have this sort of, they actually match my shirt pretty well, off-white cap to them. And the key ingredients in these are horse chestnut flower, which says it smooths out lines, and also magnolia bark extract, which claims to have antioxidant protection. These are also vegan, cruelty-free, talc-free, gluten-free, soy-free, silicone-free, fragrance-free, synthetic, dye-free, everything free essentially. And they're available on Ilia's site or Sephora. Again, just check the links in the description. Before we swatch these, description-wise, it says that they are a clean, high pigment, water-based eyeshadow that transforms into a weightless wash of creaseless, budge-proof color. Metallic hues range from your everyday neutrals to vivid pops of color. So they do claim to be creaseless and budge-proof, and it's also water-based, similar to the Kosas ones, but it's more of a creamy consistency, as you will see in the close-ups. So let's start with this first shade I have here, which is a bronze called Sheen. The applicator is very similar to their concealer, where it has 2 flat edges, so it picks up a really good amount of product. There is the swatch, so it is heavily swatched because it picks up a lot of product. I'm assuming for your eye you might want to wipe off a little bit on the edges just so you don't get too much product at first. That looks really pretty. It's kind of your traditional bronze shade, not any visible chunky glitter, just a shimmer through them. The next one I'm really excited about. I don't have any shades similar to this, and I think it's really unique. This is called Hatch, which I would describe as like a green gray sort of pastel hue. Really gorgeous. Looks a little more gray on my hand, but it definitely has a strong green undertone to it. Moving on, we have 2 pinks. The first one is called Mythic, which is a medium pink. There's the shade Mythic. It's really hard to tell what shimmer it has in here, but it looks like a white shimmer, maybe like a rainbow or blue undertone. We'll see once it dries if I can detect anything more. Then the last shade we have is called Glaze, which is this light champagne. There's our final shade. They all seem to be very consistent in terms of the pigmentation and also their finish. None of them really have chunkier sparkle than the other. They're all just a very light metallic finish. Nothing too crazy. So once these dry, I will run my hand over them and see if we get any sort of smudging. It feels like these ones are dry. Yeah, we'll just wait for that last color to dry. Now that these swatches have dried, I'm gonna run my hand over them and see like if anything smudges. Nothing's really happening. Oh, we did get a little bit of smudging. I think that was from the color deposit. I had like a streak. Yeah, it must have been just from that one area because it's not doing it too much over here. I do notice on my finger, it's sort of picking it up because they definitely have a powder finish to them. Let's try the green. Yeah, same thing's happening. So it looks like it is basically acting how a powdered eyeshadow would. Try the pink. And then the shade, yeah, so they all did a similar thing. They didn't wear off. They just got onto my fingers as a powdered eyeshadow would. I would say honestly a little bit less if I were to run my fingers over a powdered shadow. So pretty impressive. We'll see how they perform on the eyes though. So it looks like the other shades I have in the range that I do not personally have are more of this deep bronze. They have a deep burgundy, there's a lilac, and there's also this very interesting light yellowy color. I originally wanted to do a look and try to incorporate more than one of these, but after I saw this color, I just really wanted to do a one-tone look just using this because it is so unique. So looking at the swatch again, I would definitely describe this as a khaki because it has some gold undertone shimmer through it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start applying this and see how it goes. So I did remove some of the product because these applicators do pick up a lot. And I'm going to paint this on my lid, and I think I'm gonna try just blending with my fingers at first. I'm actually going to use a brush because I have nails on, so it's a little hard to blend on my lid. First impressions is I do think it went on really nicely. They do seem to dry pretty quickly, which I like that they dry to a powder because as I'm blending it into the crease and it turns into a powder, it makes it really smooth. Whereas some other liquid eyeshadows can kind of stick, and if you wanted to just use that one shade and blend it in, it's a little bit more difficult. I found this one was easy. I do have like a tiny bit of a patch right on my lid, but we're gonna try to layer it up. Let's do the other eye first. So I'm gonna use my finger over here and see if we get any sort of different application. Right off the bat, we are getting more pigment with the side that I applied with my finger, but it's just harder to get that edge. So now that it's dry, I'm going back in with the blending brush and just making sure that it blends into my eyelid. Now let's try to layer up on this side. The consistency of these are really creamy. It felt nice when I was applying it with my finger. This time with the brush, I'm making sure to pat. That might have been why I got a bit of a patchy look on the first attempt. I zoomed you guys in a little bit further so you can really get a feel for what I'm talking about. Second layer did go on pretty well. It is starting to get like a little bit more textured looking, which is typical when you start to layer a liquid product. And I did use quite a lot of product on that second turn. And when I was blending it, it's actually kind of interesting. I'm getting like fallout from like flicking the brush on my cheek, because they do turn into a powder, but it doesn't seem like a big issue for me. I think it's just because I was really like fiddling around with the brush, but I think the shade looks really pretty and it blended into the crease nicely. I really love that aspect of it. So now I'm gonna repeat that over here. Okay, so here is what it looks like with two coats on both of my eyes. I think layering it up went well. I don't think that it like added a ton more pigment. These seem to be just like a one wash of color and you're good type of product. It blended out well. It's not like creasing or crackling too much, and I think this shade's really pretty. It's actually very similar to my eye color. I think I will try to incorporate this bronze. Maybe we'll pop this on the lower lash line just to try to do another color from the four that they have, and then I'll kind of wrap up my thoughts about these. For my lower lash line, since I want it to be more precise, I dabbed a little bit of the color onto my hand here, and I'm using a small little shader brush. I'm just smudging this on the outer half. My light was hella bright. Hopefully you guys can see better now. I just took a light, basically matte white shade with a little bit of shimmer on the inner corner and brow bone just to brighten up this look. And then I think I'm gonna try to add a crease shade to see how powder would perform over a product like this. I'm taking the Ilia Necessary Warm Palette in this mustardy light yellow shade, I guess. And I'm just gonna use this to add a transition shade. And I feel like it's gonna tie in the bronze a little bit better as well. Now just to finish up, I'm taking in the Ilia Limitless Lash. This is my little sample size. I need to repurchase a full size one. So if you guys were interested in these, as I mentioned before, the link to their site will be in the description below. If you wanted to pick up any of your favorites or try anything new. You guys know I love the powder and the foundation and the concealer. Most importantly, the powder and like the mascara though, like you haven't tried those, they're game changing, I think. This mascara is just so good, nothing beats it. Alright guys, so here's the finished eye look. I'm loving like the washed green effect of this. As I mentioned, I think the shade's super unique. If I were to recommend one of these, I haven't tried the pink ones yet. I know I love pink shadows though, so I wanted to try something a little bit different. I would say this one. It's just again, unique. Nothing I really have is similar in my collection. In terms of the application and performance, I really love how they applied. If I were to compare them to the Kosas liquid eyeshadows, whatever those, the 10-second eyeshadows, I prefer this consistency because they're a cream. They're easier to apply and work with and blend out. The Kosas ones can get messy and you do have to shake them up, and they're a little bit prone to getting like patchiness of pigment. So I really enjoy the lightweightness of these, but they're still just a regular cream shadow. And the dry down is to a powder, which is also super interesting. They don't seem to make my lids feel tight or anything weird. The only thing I did notice is when I was blending out the shadows, I got a little bit of just dusty like fallout from blending the shadow itself. I was able to brush it off and it didn't stick to my face. So that's the only con I'm seeing with them right now, but everything else, it's a great first impression, which I'm happy about. There's been a lot of new releases I haven't been absolutely crazy about. So that was about it. I'm really enjoying these. I think I'm gonna have to pick up a couple more shades to play around with. And I will of course continue to include these in some upcoming videos and update you guys on the performance of them. I will put something in the description updating you guys how they wore throughout the day. Thank you so much for watching my first impressions on the new Ilia, still don't know the name of them, liquid powder chromatic eye tints. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd also love to know in the comments below what your favorite shade out of all of these is. Let me know what you are liking. I will of course link everything else that's on my face today as well in the description, so check down there for all the links. But thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.